Having high quality music is not enough to make it as an artist or a producer these days, and to build a music career that's sustainable. Now, you obviously need to have great music, so you need to make sure you have that part figured out, but that's not enough. I used to believe that just making good music would allow me to build a career as a music producer, as a musician, even as an artist for that matter. I thought if only I had really good music, that the music would sell itself, that magically people would show up to buy my music, that I'd be getting all sorts of deals, and that I'd be signed with a record label, and that I'd be able to do music full time. And to be honest with you, I had a really painful wake-up call when I first started my music career. See, I worked on creating the best possible music that I was capable of, and nobody cared. Nobody listened, nobody bought. And that's when I realized that good music, great music for that matter, does not sell itself. That's a myth. We've been told this myth over and over and over again for so long by different people, and it's simply not the case. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you get incredibly lucky and happen to have a viral hit, that it won't put you on the map. But look, I've had several viral hits in my own music career, and let me tell you something. It hasn't actually made that big of a difference. What really matters is something else. What's made the biggest impact, what's made the biggest difference in my career is something I call purpose-driven music marketing. Now, over the last couple of years, I've been sharing these concepts, I've been sharing these techniques with you guys on my YouTube channel, and never in my wildest dreams would I have expected it to grow so big so fast and gain so much traction. But more and more people are watching the videos, they're engaging with the videos, they're sharing the videos, to where our community has now grown from about 28,000 people to now having over 64,000 people, which just absolutely blows my mind. See, I started my YouTube channel to just have fun. It actually started as a music parody channel, but now here I am teaching you guys music marketing, the behind the scenes stuff, the business stuff, the branding stuff. And as a result of that, the community here has absolutely exploded. Now, I can't even begin to express how thankful I am to everybody that watches my videos and engages and is part of this movement. And in the same breath, I'm incredibly overwhelmed, as you could probably tell by the traction that this channel is getting. It's growing so fast. Over 5,000 new people are joining the movement, joining the channel, joining this community every single month. And we're just getting started. The end is nowhere in sight. In fact, the momentum is gaining every single month. Now, this is something that I'm really happy about, I'm proud of, and I'm incredibly excited about. And I know a lot of you guys are incredibly excited about it as well. Being able to share the principles and the concepts and the tips and tactics, the techniques of purpose-driven music marketing, and hearing from so many people who are seeing profound results is incredibly fulfilling to me. Now, over the past few months, I've been receiving a lot of questions from people asking me about this concept and asking if I could put something together that teaches it in a way that people could use to transform their lives. So many people have hit me up asking me to create something that goes beyond just YouTube videos, and that really hit home with me because after all, we're on this journey together. This journey that we're on together, building amazing music careers that fuel a life of passion. Not only that, but they generate a healthy income to help you sustain, help you take care of your family, help you live a really freaking good life, all while doing music full time. But you know what makes me most excited is something I like to call the 3 freedoms of purpose-driven music creation. Now, what do I mean by the 3 freedoms of purpose-driven music creation? Well, these are 3 pillars to living your ideal life that you'll only ever get to experience if you go all in on your dreams. So the first freedom is creative freedom, being able to work on your music whenever you want for as long as you want. I can remember, like it was yesterday, working 12-hour days and having like 2 hours per night to work on music if I was lucky. Getting home late and racing against the clock to try to get some music done was stressful, and it certainly didn't help my creativity. Not to mention only being able to get 3 or 4 hours of sleep because of it a night. Now, when I was able to finally go full-time with my music, it absolutely changed my life, as I'm sure you can imagine. I was finally able to really get in my zone when it came to making music. And as crazy as this might sound, it felt like my creativity, my inspiration, my imagination, the motivation started coming to me so much more naturally. When you're able to do what you love to do, what you're passionate about doing, when you're able to do that full-time, it's like it unlocks your best self. It unlocks that imagination. It unlocks your potential. I remember how stuck I felt, how frustrated I would get trying to finish a beat or trying to finish a song that I had been writing. And no matter how hard I tried, I just didn't have the time to do it the right way. I could never complete something to the level in which I knew I was capable of, because I just didn't have the time. I didn't have the mental bandwidth. I'd been burning the candle at both ends. Now, I know that perfection is subjective, obviously, but having that creative freedom allows you to level up. It allows you to take your craft to the next level. I'll put it this way, how much amazing music would you be making if you had 8, 10, even 12 hours per day to focus on that music from the comfort of your own home, in the dream studio that you built with the money that you've made from your music. Now, I'd be willing to bet money that you'd be loving that life. I know I do. Being able to set your own schedule, being able to spend more time with friends, family, loved ones, and not having to answer to that douchebag boss who's always been looking over your shoulder would be an absolute dream come true for a lot of people. Well, with music, that dream can become your reality. Now, that creative freedom only becomes possible because of the second freedom, which is financial freedom. Now, I could have brought that freedom up first, but like you, music is what drives me, not the money. Money is the byproduct of what we do. Now, don't get me wrong, earning that income is what allows us to elevate our lives, right? Get to the next level, reach new heights. It enables us to live better. It's that income that allows us to give back to causes that we care about the most, things that really matter to us, and of course, taking care of ourselves and our families. Now, it's kind of funny at this point because I can remember like it was yesterday when all I had in my little studio apartment was cans of tuna, eggs, and ramen, and I pretty much had that for every meal every day. Now, as you can imagine, I was super skinny and incredibly hungry, but I wasn't hungry in the way that you're probably thinking. See, the tuna and the ramen and the eggs were fine for me at that point. I was used to struggling. But after years of that, after years of struggling, I finally started figuring out what was working. I figured out what to do to sell my music online. And seeing that income come in, seeing those opportunities start to open up for me, really opened my eyes to what was possible. Now, I don't want to make this video all about my struggles because I'm not in that position anymore. That's why I'm making this video, but I can relate to those of you who have dealt with eviction notices on the doors. I had that for almost every month, 6 months or so. I had 10 to 12 phone calls a day from the car dealership threatening to repossess my car because I couldn't pay for it. There was no gas in it, so I couldn't even leave to go to a birthday party for a friend or to meet someone or go to a job interview or nothing. I was stuck, and music is all I had. But that's all I needed. Because if you fast forward a year and a half from that situation, I was making more money than some bankers and executives pull in. But the difference was I was making that money from the comfort of my pajama pants at home doing what I love to do. Now, as embarrassing as it is, I barely graduated from high school, so I never in a million years imagined that I would be making a six-figure income, let alone a six-figure income solely from the music I was creating. Now, I can remember getting emotional, physically crying. Don't judge me. The first time that I ever made $10,000 in one single month with my music. And then that turned into $12,000, and then that turned into $15,000. Just thinking about it right now, putting myself back in that position, it's surreal when I really take a second to let it all sink in. Going from barely graduating high school, like I just mentioned, to generating a yearly income that exceeds the majority of the kids I went to high school with, and the teachers and the guidance counselors that told me I would never amount to anything, is pretty awesome. Now, in my videos, I don't really talk about the money side of things very often. I grew up pretty poor, and I know what that feels like. I've shared with you some of my struggles as an adult even in this video. Now, the last thing I want is for people to think that I feel like I'm better than them, or I'm belittling them, or I'm just sitting around bragging about how much money I make. See, financial freedom isn't all about going and buying fancy cars or going and buying a Rolex watch. But to be completely transparent with you guys for this video, it has enabled me to do those things. Financial freedom to me is the position that earning more puts you in, the position that you'll find yourself in when you're earning money based on what you love to do. For example, being able to pay off all of your credit cards, that student loan, your car note, not owing anyone, while being able to invest in yourself, invest in your business, invest in your craft, all while being able to save more. Trust me when I tell you that having money in the bank and not having bill collectors call you at 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock at night when you're trying to eat dinner definitely helps you sleep at night. Being able to build your dream home studio like I have here with the money that you make from the music that you share with the world, the music that you're creating, is a surreal feeling. It's incredible. Just in the past year alone, my girlfriend and I have had the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. for New Year's. We went to Savannah, Georgia, beautiful. Las Vegas, a lot of fun. Wisconsin a million times to visit my family because that's where I'm from originally. And not to mention Hawaii, just to name a few. Now, traveling like that was never something that I thought would have been a reality in my life before going full-time with my music. See, the mindset that I was living when I was just dabbling with music is something that was going to hold me back from ever experiencing these things. It's crazy to me that I get to share with you that we have a 2,500 square foot, 4-bedroom house in one of the nicest communities in the Orlando area. Again, something that I never would have thought possible, especially with music. But I'm here to tell you it is possible. Now, I'm not the only person who's been able to do this, so don't for a second think that I'm some sort of magical exception. For example, my good friend and fellow music producer, Superstar O, went from being homeless, not knowing where his next meal would come from, to now owning a small fleet of supercars, having a huge mansion or mini mansion, and living his best life, having so many opportunities. Opportunities to work with some of the biggest labels in the music industry, some of the biggest named artists, some of the biggest named producers. And all of those opportunities have come from the music that he creates, the brand that he's developed, the community that he's built. I mean, I could sit here and talk for like an hour about my best friend Zach, who goes by the name of DJ DeVille, and all of the successes that I've seen with my own eyes that have come from the music that he's creating. So Zach and I became friends back in 2006 through a mutual friend, and at the time he had been working full-time in the parts department of a car dealership making $8 or $9 an hour. Now fast forward to today, and he's worked with Steve Aoki, Diplo, Skrillex, Bad Boy Bill, Carnage, and even Little John. He gets to travel the world to do what he loves to do, and that's DJ. And when he's not DJing, when he's not traveling the world, he's producing dance remixes for some of the largest songs that you hear on the radio today. His mixes have been downloaded millions, literally millions of times. In fact, if you've been to a club or a festival where there's a DJ playing dance music in the last 10 years, then most likely you've heard his work. Now, his gigs and opportunities, his shows, his performances have earned him a six-figure income consistently over the years. Not to mention working with large brands like Lexus, working with large companies in the music and nightlife industries. And being his friend, being able to see his wins, his successes from behind the scenes, such as buying a house with his music, living a life of abundance, being able to eat good, being able to travel, having a bunch of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, is so fulfilling, and I'm so proud of him. Just look at big name acts such as pop singer Shawn Mendes, country singer Luke Combs. These are guys that started organically online, building a name for themselves before they hit fame and fortune. And the list goes on. I could talk for another 2 hours about different case studies, different people I know personally, different people that I've met over the years that have gone from nothing to something. Now, the financial freedom is obviously great, but that unlocks the third freedom that I want to talk about in this video, which is the freedom of opportunities. Before I was able to do music full-time, I was struggling with not having enough time to work on my own music, let alone working with others on theirs. I missed so many opportunities to submit music to major artists, to work with huge name producers that I had been looking up to for years, because I wasn't physically able to. I didn't have the time. As my music career started to develop and that income started to build, I was finally able to free up some time on my schedule to focus on other opportunities, such as getting my music featured on TV shows and commercials, and even having the chance to work with the creative team of multiple Fortune 1000 and Fortune 500 companies. See, in the past, these type of opportunities didn't exist to me. They weren't available to someone that was just dabbling with music. Nobody knew who the hell I was, and worse than that, nobody cared. Now, all of that changed when I decided to go all in on my dreams, when I set out to make a name for myself with my music being my driving motivator. Now, I had other motivators, such as proving all those people wrong that said I would never amount to anything, that said that I shouldn't go to college because it wasn't for me, that I should go find a job in a factory somewhere, because that's about all my life was worth. Proving those people wrong sets a fire under me every single day to this day. Now, as the opportunities started to present themselves to me, I quickly started to understand how I could go out and create opportunities for myself. I could go out and make opportunities rather than sitting around waiting for them to come to me. Now, I know that might sound like some hippie BS, but that's exactly how I was able to work with G-Eazy on a record when he had no idea who I was prior to that. It's also how I was able to get my music on commercial campaigns for Burger King, the NBA, and multiple reality TV shows. And the opportunities don't stop there. Since building my personal brand around my music, I've been approached by some of the biggest names in the industry as far as the music tech side of things. I'm talking being offered sponsorships by audio equipment companies, by software companies, and even a couple random clothing companies. Look, the point I'm trying to make is that the freedom of opportunities is something that's transformed my life into what it is today. Now, if you're watching this, I know that at least one of these freedoms drive you to do what you do as well. And out of the three, which one motivates you the most? Look, if you resonated with any of the three freedoms, then I have some really good news for you. On November 12th, I'll be launching my Sell Music Masterclass, and I'm going to take a handful of new students and teach them exactly how to harness the power of purpose-driven music marketing to grow their income by over $1,000 per month with unlimited earning potential. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to click the link that's going to be underneath this video and get your name on the early bird waiting list. Now, I'm only one person, so in order to do something like this the right way, I can only work with a small number of people at the same time, and there's already several hundred people over on the early bird waiting list. Now, the reason that I'm telling you that is because everyone who's on that early bird waiting list is going to have access to the registration registration link the night before the program launches to the public. And as I mentioned earlier, the enrollment's going to be limited to a certain amount of people, so if this is something you're interested in, make sure you get your name on that list. It's super easy, guys. Just click the link and fill out the form. All you're going to need is your name and your email address, nothing more than that. Then your spot's going to be reserved and you'll get early access to the program. In the next video, I'm going to share with you my personal process, something that I like to call reverse intuition success blueprinting. I'm also going to share with you a marketing technique that I developed for Instagram that tripled my income and my social reach immediately after implementing it. Now, before I wrap up this video, I want to hear from you in the comments below. So out of the 3 freedoms that we spoke about in this video, which one drives you the most? I want to hear about it. Leave it in the comments below this video. If you've made it this far in the video, I have a feeling that you and I, we're a lot alike. You take this music thing very seriously and you're trying to get further faster with your music career. I want to know what gets you out of bed in the morning. So leave that in the comments below as well so we can connect. Oh, also, one more thing before I go. I mean it when I say that you want to get your name on the early bird waiting list. Enrollment is going to be limited. Not everybody that wants to get into the program will get into the program, especially when I go live to the public. So make sure you click the link, get your name, get your email on that list so you can reserve your spot and have early access. Now, I appreciate you watching the video, taking time out of your day to join me here. I'm really excited to share the next video with you. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.